So someone recently told me vegans can't get enough protein from plants. And honestly, I had to laugh, because some of the plants on this list actually contain more protein than meat. Yes, real plants you can grow, buy, and eat. And number 7 genuinely shocked me. So stick around, because I think it might surprise you too. Welcome back to Greenest Garden, the channel where we dig into everything growing, green, and surprisingly good for you. If you enjoy videos like this, do me a quick favor, hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss our weekly gardening and healthy living content. And before we jump in, I want to know, what plant do you think has the most protein? Drop your guess in the comments and let's see who gets it right. Alright, let's get into it. Plant number 1, Spirulina. Alright, coming in at number 1. And this one honestly feels unfair, is Spirulina. Now, before you hear algae and immediately check out, hear me out for a second. Because this tiny green powder is an absolute protein monster. Gram for gram, dried spirulina contains a staggering amount of protein, around 57 grams per 100 grams. That's almost double what you'd get from cooked chicken breast, which usually sits somewhere around 31 grams. Yeah, a plant beating chicken in a protein contest was probably not on your bingo card today. And the craziest part, spirulina doesn't even look impressive. It's just this humble little powder quietly sitting in health food stores, while secretly outperforming some of the foods people swear are the best protein sources. Now realistically, nobody is sitting down eating a bowl of spirulina like rice. A little goes a very long way. Most people add a spoon or two into smoothies, juices, yogurt, or even energy bowls for a quick protein boost. But protein isn't even the only reason people love it. Spirulina also packs in iron, antioxidants, and B vitamins, making it one of those foods that works overtime for your body. And here's something most people don't know: you can actually grow spirulina at home in a water tank, if you're up for a fun little gardening challenge. Think of spirulina as the quiet overachiever of the plant world. Small, unassuming, but somehow stronger than everyone expected. Plant number 2, hemp seeds. Coming in at number 2, we've got hemp seeds, and honestly, these tiny little things deserve way more attention than they get. Don't let the size fool you, because hemp seeds are absolute nutritional heavyweights. Per 100 grams, whole hemp seeds pack in around 31 grams of protein, putting them right up there with meat and even challenging foods like chicken breast gram for gram. But here's where hemp seeds really start showing off. They're what's called a complete protein, meaning they contain all 9 essential amino acids your body needs, but can't produce on its own. That's a pretty big deal, especially if you're trying to eat more plant-based meals without missing out on nutrition. And hemp seeds aren't just about protein either. They're loaded with iron, calcium, zinc, magnesium, and heart-friendly omega-3 fatty acids, which makes them feel less like a snack and more like a nutritional cheat code. The best part? They're ridiculously easy to use. Toss them into smoothies, sprinkle them over oatmeal, yogurt, salads, or even soups, and they blend right in with this mild, slightly nutty flavor that works with almost everything. And for the gardeners watching, yes, hemp is actually a fast-growing, beautiful plant that can thrive in the right conditions. Just make sure you check your local laws first, because depending on where you live, the rules around growing hemp can vary quite a bit. Plant number 3, seitan. Alright, number 3 is probably the one that catches people completely off guard. Seitan. And yes, before you ask, it's pronounced seitan. And yes, people absolutely make the same joke every single time they hear it. But jokes aside, this stuff is seriously impressive when it comes to protein. Seitan is made from wheat, gluten, basically the main protein found in wheat, and it delivers around 25 grams of protein per 100 grams. That puts it right in the same conversation as meat. And what really surprises people is the texture. It's chewy, savory, and honestly, one of the closest plant-based foods to actual meat in terms of bite and feel. If you've ever eaten something labeled mock duck, wheat meat, or had a vegetarian dish and thought, hold on, why does this feel so much like meat? Chances are, you were eating seitan. Now, there is one small thing worth knowing about seitan. Even though it's packed with protein, it's low in an essential amino acid called lysine. But don't let that scare you. The fix is incredibly easy. Just pair it throughout the day with foods like beans, lentils, soy products, or quinoa, and you've got yourself a more complete protein setup. And if you enjoy DIY kitchen projects, making seitan at home is actually surprisingly fun. You can create it using vital wheat gluten flour, season it however you want, and shape it into everything from nuggets to steaks. So technically, you're not growing seitan itself, but since it comes from wheat, and wheat is definitely something you can grow, it still earns its place on this list. Plant number 4. Tempeh. Coming in at number 4 is tempeh, and honestly, this one deserves way more attention than it gets. If tofu is the quiet, shy cousin, tempeh is the bold one that walks into the room with confidence. Packed with more than 20 grams of protein per 100 grams. Tempeh sits comfortably in meat territory when it comes to protein, but that's only part of the story. What makes tempeh really stand out is the fact that it's fermented, meaning you're not just getting protein, you're also getting potential gut-friendly benefits that can support digestion and overall health. It's one of those foods that feels like it's doing multiple jobs at once. And honestly, we love to see it. Tempeh is made from whole soybeans that are naturally fermented and pressed into a firm, sliceable block with a rich, nutty, slightly earthy flavor. Unlike tofu, it's much denser and has a heartier bite, which makes it amazing for grilling, pan frying, stir fries, sandwiches, or soaking up bold marinades. Give it some soy sauce, garlic, ginger, chili, or smoked paprika, and it turns into something seriously delicious. And for the gardeners watching, yes, soybeans are actually something you can grow at home. Give them plenty of sunlight, decent drainage, and a little patience, and in about 80 to 100 days, you could be harvesting the very plant that becomes one of the highest protein foods on this list. Plant number 5, edamame. Speaking of soybeans, number 5 is edamame. And if you've only ever eaten these as a little appetizer at a sushi restaurant, you are seriously underestimating them. Edamame is simply young soybeans harvested while they're still green, tender, and packed with nutrients. And when it comes to protein, they absolutely pull their weight, giving you around 17 grams of protein per cup. That's pretty impressive for something most people casually snack on, without realizing how powerful it actually is. Plus, unlike a lot of protein-heavy foods, edamame also counts as a vegetable serving, so you're basically getting 2 wins at once. What makes edamame even more impressive is that it's one of the few plant foods considered a complete protein, meaning it naturally contains all the essential amino acids your body needs. In simple terms, it's giving you the full package without needing much backup. And trust me, there's way more you can do with edamame than just popping pods at dinner. Toss them into salads, stir them into rice bowls, blend them into creamy dips, mix them with noodles, or even snack on them with a little sea salt. And if you enjoy growing your own food, edamame is genuinely rewarding in the garden. The plants are beautiful, surprisingly easy to grow, and harvesting fresh pods straight from your backyard feels weirdly satisfying. Plant number 6, lentils. Coming in at number 6, we have lentils, the absolute workhorse of the plant protein world. These little legumes may not look flashy, but they quietly get the job done every single time. A cooked cup of lentils gives you around 18 grams of protein, which is seriously impressive, considering how affordable and accessible they are. But protein is only part of the story here. Lentils are also packed with fiber, iron, folate, and other nutrients that support energy, digestion, and overall health. Honestly, if we're talking value for money, lentils might be one of the best protein bargains on the planet. Cheap, filling, nutritious, and easy to cook, that's hard to beat. And here's the fun part, not all lentils are the same. You've got red, green, brown, and black varieties, and each one brings something different to the table. Red lentils soften and break down quickly, making them perfect for creamy soups, stews, and curries. Green and brown lentils hold their shape much better, which makes them amazing in salads, tacos, veggie burgers, or even replacing ground meat in pasta sauces. And for anyone who loves gardening, lentils come with a bonus feature. They're nitrogen-fixing plants, meaning they actually help improve your soil as they grow. So not only are they feeding you, they're helping feed your garden too. Plant number 7, pumpkin seeds. Alright, we've officially reached number 7, and this is the one that genuinely surprised me when I started researching this list. Pumpkin seeds. I knew they were healthy, sure, but I had absolutely no idea they were this packed with protein. Depending on how they're prepared, pumpkin seeds can contain anywhere from 20 to 30 grams of protein per 100 grams, which puts them way higher than most people would ever expect from something that usually gets tossed aside after carving a pumpkin. And that's not even the whole story. These tiny seeds are also loaded with iron, zinc, calcium, magnesium, and healthy fats, making them one of those snacks that quietly overachieves in every category. And here's the part that really blew my mind: a small handful of pumpkin seeds, about an ounce, can give you close to 9 grams of protein. That's actually more protein than a single egg, which feels kind of unfair for something so tiny. Now, if you're a gardener, this gets even better. If you already grow pumpkins or winter squash, you're basically sitting on a free, high-protein snack and probably don't even realize it. Instead of throwing those seeds away, rinse them off. Season them with a little olive oil, salt, maybe some smoked paprika if you're feeling fancy. Roast them in the oven, and suddenly, you've got one of the healthiest homemade snacks imaginable, straight from your own backyard. Plant number 8, black beans. Coming in at number 8, we've got black beans, and honestly, this spot could easily be shared with kidney beans, pinto beans, cannellini beans, and a whole bunch of other legumes too. Most cooked beans give you somewhere around 15 grams of protein per cup, which is already impressive. But what really makes beans special is the combination of protein and fiber working together. That fiber helps keep you full longer, supports gut health, and can even help regulate blood sugar levels, which is probably why a simple bowl of beans feels way more satisfying than people expect. Black beans, especially, have this rich, hearty flavor that works in everything from tacos and burrito bowls to soups, rice dishes, veggie burgers, and stews. And honestly, black beans deserve extra credit for how incredibly versatile they are across different cultures. You'll find them at the center of dishes in Mexican, Brazilian, Caribbean, and Latin American cooking, proof that cheap, simple foods can still be absolutely delicious. Now, if you've ever wanted an easy gardening win, beans are one of the best places to start. They sprout quickly, grow fast, and are surprisingly forgiving, even if you don't have a green thumb yet. Bush beans are perfect for smaller gardens or containers, while pole beans love climbing trellises and can keep producing all season long. Few things feel as rewarding as picking fresh beans straight from the garden and tossing them into dinner the same day. Plant number 9, chickpeas. Coming in at number 9, we've got chickpeas, also known as garbanzo beans, and honestly, these little guys deserve way more respect than they get. A cooked cup gives you around 15 grams of protein, along with plenty of fiber and a solid lineup of important nutrients your body loves. But what really makes chickpeas stand out is just how unbelievably versatile they are. We're talking creamy hummus, rich curries, roasted crunchy snacks, crispy salad toppings, hearty stews, and even chickpea flour used to make flatbreads and savory dishes around the world. If there were an award for the most useful legume on the planet, chickpeas would definitely be fighting for first place. And the benefits go beyond just protein. Studies suggest that regularly eating pulses foods like chickpeas, beans, and lentils may help support heart health by helping reduce total cholesterol and LDL, often called bad cholesterol. So you're not just eating something filling and protein-packed, you're potentially doing your heart a favor too. Now, for the gardeners watching, chickpeas are a little more patient testing than regular beans. They prefer longer, warmer, drier growing seasons, so they take a bit more commitment. But if your climate works for them, growing your own chickpeas can be incredibly rewarding, especially when you realize that tiny plant ends up powering so many amazing meals. Plant number 10, quinoa. Coming in at number 10, we've got quinoa, and yes, before anyone rushes to the comments, technically it's a seed, not a grain. But since it cooks like a grain and basically lives in the grain aisle at the grocery store, we're counting it. Now, here's why quinoa earns a spot on this list. It's one of the rare plant foods that qualifies as a complete protein, meaning it naturally contains all 9 essential amino acids your body needs. That alone already makes it impressive. But quinoa also brings around 14 grams of protein per 100 grams of dry weight, putting it ahead of most traditional grains when it comes to nutritional power. But honestly, what makes quinoa special isn't just the amount of protein, it's the quality of it. Since it's a complete protein, it gives plant-based eaters a really convenient way to cover all their amino acid bases in one food. It's also naturally gluten-free, which makes it an amazing option for anyone who can't eat wheat or wants a break from things like seitan. And for the gardeners watching, quinoa is surprisingly beautiful to grow. The plants grow tall and dramatic with colorful seed heads in shades of red, orange, gold, and even deep pink, making them look more like ornamental flowers than food crops. Give them cool weather, well-draining soil, and a little patience, and you'll have one of the prettiest protein plants in the garden. Plant number 11, mung beans. Coming in at number 11, and honestly, one of the biggest underdogs on this entire list, are mung beans. If you've never really paid attention to mung beans before, this might be the moment that changes your mind. A serving of mung beans can give you around 18.5 grams of protein in just about 2/3 of a cup, which is seriously impressive, and puts them right up there with protein favorites like lentils. The funny part? Despite being incredibly nutritious, mung beans still fly way under the radar in a lot of Western kitchens, which honestly feels a little unfair considering how much they bring to the table. In many Asian cuisines, though, mung beans are already stars. They show up in soups, stir-fries, porridges, savory dishes, desserts, and they're also the little powerhouse behind those crunchy bean sprouts you've probably eaten without thinking twice. And here's something really cool. You don't even need a garden to grow them. You can sprout mung beans right on your kitchen counter using nothing more than a jar, water, and a few days of patience. In about 4 days, you've got fresh sprouts ready to eat. But if gardening is your thing, beans are fantastic outdoors too. They love warm weather, grow surprisingly fast, and just like lentils, they help improve soil by fixing nitrogen. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if mung beans become way more popular in the next few years because they're kind of amazing. Plant number 12, nutritional yeast. Alright, number 12. And hear me out before you judge, this one is nutritional yeast. I know. The name does not sound exciting. In fact, it sounds like something you accidentally leave in the back of a science lab. But trust me on this, because nutritional yeast is one of those weird foods that surprises people in the best possible way. It comes as this flaky, golden powder with a rich, savory, almost cheesy flavor that somehow makes everything taste better. And once people start using it, they tend to become slightly obsessed with it. There's a reason vegan cooks swear by this stuff. It's kind of magic in the kitchen, but flavor isn't even the main reason it made this list. Just a couple of tablespoons can deliver around 8 grams of complete protein, meaning you're getting all the essential amino acids in one go, plus a huge boost of B vitamins that support energy and overall health. And the ways to use it, honestly, almost endless. Sprinkle it over pasta, popcorn, roasted vegetables, soups, avocado toast, rice bowls, anywhere you'd normally want a little savory, cheesy kick. Nutritional yeast just shows up and quietly steals the show. Now, this isn't something you grow in your backyard like beans or soy. Since it's a cultured food product made from yeast, but it's completely plant-based, super shelf-stable, and one of the easiest ways to sneak extra protein into your meals without even trying. Plant number 13, faba beans. Fava beans. And finally, coming in at number 13, saving one of the absolute heavyweights for last, we've got faba beans, also known as fava beans or broad beans. And honestly, this one deserves a dramatic ending because the numbers are kind of wild. Faba beans contain more than 31 grams of protein per 100 grams of dry weight, putting them right up there near the top of the plant protein leaderboard. That means these humble-looking beans are competing with some of the highest protein foods on this entire list. But the protein is only part of what makes them special. They're also rich in fiber, iron, folate, and other nutrients that help support energy, fullness, and overall health. And when cooked fresh, they have this rich, buttery flavor that feels way more luxurious than people expect from a bean. Now, let's talk garden bonus points. Because faba beans are honestly a dream crop for growers. Unlike a lot of warm weather plants, faba beans actually love cooler temperatures, which means they're one of the first crops you can get into the ground in spring, or even grow through autumn in milder climates. They grow tall, lush, and surprisingly beautiful, while also doing something incredible underground, aggressively fixing nitrogen into the soil, basically helping improve your garden as they grow. And the harvest can be seriously generous. So if you've never tried growing faba beans before, consider this your sign. They're one of those crops that make you walk outside, look at your garden, and think, okay, may I actually know what I'm doing? Alright, before we wrap up, let's do a quick recap of all 13 powerhouse plants we covered today. Spirulina, hemp seeds, seitan, tempeh, edamame, lentils, pumpkin seeds, black beans, chickpeas, quinoa, mung beans, nutritional yeast, and faba beans. Honestly, that's an incredible amount of variety, different flavors, different textures, different ways to cook, and most importantly, a whole lot of protein. You could build an entire meal plan or even an entire garden around these plants and never get bored. Smoothies, soups, curries, salads, stir-fries, snacks, sandwiches. There are so many ways to make plant protein actually exciting instead of repetitive. And if there's one big takeaway from this video, it's this: plants are way more powerful than most people give them credit for. This isn't about telling anyone to stop eating meat. Eat what works for you. But if you're vegan, vegetarian, or simply trying to eat less meat and more whole foods, hopefully this video shows you that getting enough protein is absolutely possible and honestly easier than people think. Now, I want to hear from you. Which one of these surprised you the most? And which plant would you actually try growing at home? Drop it in the comments below, because I'd love to know. And if you want a full grow guide on any of these plants, let me know. I'll happily make it happen. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button because it really helps more people discover Greenest Garden. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, happy growing.